Alrighty, I'll shut my lip and go ahead and simply cut forward. Alrighty, so I have gone ahead and cut down quite a bit here. You can see there's some wreckage, I'd say, laying about the ground. I don't quite remember dropping anything heavy enough to make a crater here, but long behold, there's a crater here. But yeah, you can see I've cut free a whole bunch of stuff. Some of this might have been laying here before, but that wasn't. I cut the connector there, and I forgot there was nothing else holding it, so the whole thing came down. Few piping, and of course the whole wall's worth of just stuff. You can see where the wall used to crop out to. Yarp. So we got a fair few supplies from that. Unfortunately, I think it's reached that point where I can't really get to the piping down here without, of course, doing that thing I said I was worried about, which is tilting up at an angle. And even then, I'm not sure I could really reach it due to the size of this thing here. I'm starting to think maybe what I should simply do is just build a metal pylon grouping from here all the way up to, well, here, basically, connecting the whole thing out. And then I could basically just chew the entirety of the base free without having to worry about maintaining any of this, so I could reach that piping under there and gobble that all up and just carry on and annihilate absolutely everything under the sun without any issue. Also, as I'm doing this here, just to give this thing the support it will need, which will also mean that technically our base will be supported via this as well, as long as I don't cut out the pillar down there. What else to say? Yes, we should also check our inventory here to see how much stuff we've collected, and also our uranium levels. So let's go ahead, pop into here. This is maxed out from the looks of it. 46 out of 46, yes? Yes, indeed. I can't store anything else in there. Secondary. This guy is actually almost maxed out as well, looking at that here. So we can actually go ahead back to our connection and drop everything off into the main tower. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. Okie dokie. Oh, also that right there, that just popped up the maximum number of bots reached. That thing has been popping up like crazy every couple minutes. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess I can hypothesize why. It makes sense, is the idea that, well, we're on an Earth-like planet. We have not killed off the NPC doggities that have been spawning, therefore it keeps spawning NPC doggities. Therefore, the maximum number of bots, NPC doggities, that can possibly be spawned without the game having issue has been reached. So instead of it spawning more, it just gives us a error message, basically. There we go. Line that up, press P. Awesome. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. I'm assuming. I could be completely wrong. Okay, so let's do a mobile, and that should give us, yep, both the main storages, and let's just type main over here, and drop off as much stuff as we can into that. Looks like we'll be able to hold pretty much everything in there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We did get quite a few supplies. It's a good thing I stopped when I did, or else, well, obviously I would have had supply overflow, and that would have been a negative. Let's also just do this, and back to inventory. Yep, sure enough, we actually kind of did, it looks like, because our cockpit was filling up with stuff even. So let's do just a _1, was it, for the cargo? Yes, indeed it was. And drop the stuff off here as well. And then, I guess what I'm going to do from this point is simply go ahead and grab some metal beams to finish that one walkway we were working on. And then... oh, wow, I can only hold 52? Alright, I can only hold 52. Or 62, I guess, because of all these sons of guns that I got in my inventory. Need to go ahead and, swap out some hydrogen tanks, too. There we go. And now we can go back to _1 and grab the rest of the steel plates. There we go. I don't actually know where all the demon doggies are. We can see one right here, spurging out. But I know of not where the rest are. Oh, here's one, two. It's very odd. They all seem like they were in the process of running away from my base. So maybe they ran up there, realized they couldn't actually do any damage or something, and turned and ran, but got stuck in holes, so they didn't despawn. Possible there are hundreds of them about. Oh, fireflies, you see those? Not sure you can see them on YouTube, they might be too small and pixelated. But yeah, there's little fireflies buzzing around. I actually saw one of these in real life the other day. They're very rare in Florida. Like, I've probably only seen like 4 in my whole life. And sure enough, I was walking around, I'm like, what's that in front of me? It was literally like a foot away from me. It was like, you know, it was pitch black pretty much. So the only thing I could see the light from a house in a distance, and that in front of me. I'm like, lad, my puppy, look! This odd thing that has appeared in front of us. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, my inventory's full. Right. That was... did that grow from the ground after I cut that down? Okay, I forgot my inventory was full. Whoops. Alrighty, what were we doing? We're putting in the metal paneling here to have this thing. Let's actually go ahead and do it in a slightly interesting manner too. We'll have this like so. Get this up there. I know I should just probably grind down those solar panels and install them in their final position up top, but for the time being, we're just going to do that. That way we continue destroying everything here and not have to worry about everything else. Anything we need to worry about emptying cargo container-wise in here before we bring the grinder back through? You can see, of course, in the past I took out the back wall, so you got some areas that are pretty open up. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get hydrogen. Oh, I did get hydrogen out of that, of course. Let's open our helmet. Something actually, I didn't even do a video on this when they updated the suit. Honestly, I found, I love some of it, and other parts of it I found felt a bit lackluster. Mainly, like, the main body still looks very, very similar, whereas these hands and stuff are absolutely awesome. I adore the hands, but most of the body feels just exactly the same, which I find is a letdown, honestly. But yeah, they did add, you know, the whole thing where you can open your helmet now, which is pretty damn cool. You can't just take it off anymore, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Yeah. Okay, I don't see anything really we need to empty cargo-wise. Everything seems like it's empty, so we can carry on grinding away for another X number of hours, because it is taking some time. I've been listening to some fantastical swing electro-nonsense music in the meantime while working. I don't think any of it will make it in there. Maybe a little splash of it you will have heard. Also, let's go ahead and just do _1 again. We're going to drop off that thing we got, that thing. So I don't think we need to weld up that supports for the solar area. And I guess go back to grinding, but after we go ahead and balance out our uranium supply. Because I suspect, yeah, we got 24 in the little tiny mining craft now. We're going to transfer like 5 out of there, and then another 5 to there, and then another 5 to here. And you might say, hey, you're leaving your mining craft pretty low on fuel. Well, if I'm right, our refineries, yeah, are still kicking out this stuff, so we can just leave them be to kick out more uranium. They're also, of course, kicking out the other stuff as they go, slowly working away at the nickel. A smart thing to do, I guess, would be to fly up here, and since we already have all the components in this, I should have done this ages ago, we could finish this, and then all we gotta do is finish, I believe... Oh, no, that's not going to work so easily, is it? See, I was thinking I could finish the oxygen generator just to the right of this, or directly ahead of us now, actually. And it would instantly pipe in, but the, what are these? Assemblers down here are not complete, so no dice there. I could pretty quickly, yeah, let's do this. Let's just quickly go ahead and motors and large steel tubes, so we can find those. Let's just do _1, that's where everything is. So, 4 motors and a large steel tube, or 6 or something, I can't remember. I think I probably got those backwards, didn't I? Nope, it was 2 large steel tubes. I had more than we needed. But we're also going to go ahead now and just connect this up like so. But we're going to need some steel plates and whatnot. All very simplified stuff. Let's just grab some of those. I'll hit our max storage. Let's see. We don't need those large steel tubes on us, so we're going to drop those away. And actually, let's go ahead and make sure we grab everything. Or at least what I believe we'll need. Small steel tubes, we're going to need some of those. Oh, dang it, we're just going to have to start building. Ooh, and of course, the first piece I put in incorrectly. There we go. So, start putting in all this. You can see what we're doing here. We just need motors, construction components, and more interior plates. That's it. Pretty simple. And of course, we can fly up to the top here and access this control storage. Drop you guys off, grab a couple hundred of them, probably way more than we needed actually, so we'll drop another 100, try to get everything. I still find the interior plates to be infuriatingly large. They take up so much inventory space, it's very annoying. And now we need 12 motors, and we'll be all set, have our new piping done. Dun. Okay, we said we're going to try to stay relatively stable today. I've been recording at this point for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Maybe that's a bit over-exaggeration. It's hard to tell time when I'm not talking, when I was just grinding away, and that does take quite some time. Remember, I'm on realistic grinding speed. The only thing I have anything above standard is a ×3 inventory, instead of ×1, like everything else. Alrighty, so that means this refinery should now be up and running. We can go ahead and click right here, take us directly to it. That's a refinery 11, and let's go ahead and find ourselves some uranium here. And let's go ahead and just split this stack right like so. There we go. So we got 3. In fact, let's go ahead and drop another... Oh, wait, no. We need to do 3,000. There we go. And then we'll do 1,000 from you. And that should be good enough split, I think. And of course, this is slightly unfortunate that I'm producing any from this. Is really, I don't need to turn off my jetpack. Really what I should be doing is getting these effectiveness modules up on the top too, because they produce more uranium ingots per ore. And so we don't really want to be wasting any of that ore. We need to get these in here quick as we can as well. And these are going to be requiring steel plates. So let's just go over here, steel again, and we'll just grab a couple hundred steel plates to get these started and do this all by hand. I'm doing this all by hand right now just because it's easier to do this, just lickety split right here, instead of worrying about transferring the materials into the flying sausage and then finishing it off that way. Should be just quicker, bouncing back and forth a little bit here. We're probably going to need, 100 motors, and then... Oh, well, my inventory filled up, unfortunately. But yeah, we needed some motors, not 100 of them, but a fair few. We're going to need metal grids, small steel tubes, and construction components. Pretty simple stuff. So let's just get these done real quick. Alrighty, there we go. That's all of them done. So now we have all 4 effectiveness modules up on here, so it'll be producing more uranium ingot per every piece of ore, which is pretty damn good. I don't think it really slows it down at all. Seems like it's still cooking out pretty quick. But yeah, it just means we're going to get more bang for our buck when it comes to uranium ore inputted, which is very important when, of course, you're terrified about running out of power like we had that one time. That was not a good time. Okay, dokie. That was pretty painless, actually. We no longer need these strange supports here either. We put those in ages ago for whatever reason. I guess it was just to support the placement point of the refineries, but we don't really need them anymore. Everything's been placed incorrectly, I believe. Yep, that's an oxygen generator. Only things we need left really up for placement are these here, and then we can just start welding everything up, really. Should we do that real quick? Just get everything placed and then come back later on and weld it all up? I don't see any harm really in doing that. Just putting some piping in right here, and then the effectiveness modules once more. There we go, effectiveness module. I still have trouble keeping track of effectiveness and productivity. Productivity basically means faster, I believe. And then, of course, there's the super simple power efficiency one, which is pretty much the only one I can ever keep track of off the top of my head. Alrighty, so we got that set. What do we need actually to finish these hydrogen tanks, just out of curiosity? Oh, large steel tubes, about 80 of them, far more than we could carry on our own. Also, just in case you're wondering, my plan for some of this is involving, let's see, do we have it on a hotbar already? Looks like we may not, but is involving hydrogen tanks, more hydrogen tanks, because as I said way earlier, my plan is to have more of them, so we're basically going to have hydrogen tanks on top of these here. And then, of course, all these assemblers are all going to have proper machines around them, probably to speed them up more than anything else. And of course, this big flying structure is eventually going to have power of its own, and there just doesn't have anything quite yet. I might actually go ahead and just make like a big battery block up here, or I might just save that space for jump drives, who knows. I don't think there's really much room there, there's just 2 blocks height, so can't put too much just above those. Jump drives might be the best choice, to just have 4 jump drives, 1 above each of those. I think we are going to do that, and you know what? We're actually going to go ahead and place them right now. Not to start building them up, we probably won't do that until we're in space. For all I know, we won't even have the ability to build them. There might be a component missing that you just couldn't find down here on a planet. Not exactly sure off the top of my head, but let's go ahead and just put them in, just so we'll have them placed, basically. There we go. And this, of course, does mean you can't have a pipe going directly up through them, but I think that's fine, considering we do have the central piping of the what do you call these sons of guns? The cargo containers, as well as, of course, these assemblers are going to have piping running through them as well. Cool. So now we got our jump drives there. That'll be pretty nice. And, of course, from here, I think we might add 1 more thruster out from here eventually. But for the time being, I think this shall be fine. All right. So there's a little bit more planning there. Got more uranium refining. Let's go ahead and check here. We're still good to float for a bit before we run out of hydrogen and fall to the ground. Cool. What else do we want to do? Do we want to just continue grinding away and gather more supplies? I think we might. I think that might be the best thing to do right now. By the way, when it comes to side thrust, I'm thinking I'm going to be putting a lot of it like right here where I'm hovering right now. Either that, or I'm just going to put in more big thrusters like that pointing downward. So we're going to have just tons and tons of power to get us up and into the atmosphere. Just remember, once we're in atmosphere, you don't have to worry about having too much thrust. It's just enough to get you moving. And of course, with our jump drives, if we really want, we can do a lot of navigation via jump drive. In theory, at least. Alrighty. All that is done. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's go ahead and get ourselves some ice. Why not? Since we have, the maximum number of bots reached. Since we actually have daytime now, and that was the reason for not going and getting it before, let's just go grab some ice. And I know I did drain some uranium out of this, but we still got 11 uranium and only one reactor, and it's a relatively small ship, so I think we'll be fine. We won't stay out for too long. It is interesting, by the way, that we have these darker patches of ice. Usually a darker patch on a planet indicates that there is a ore deposit down there. I didn't think we'd find ore out in the waters. I'd expect simply just more ice. Oh, but sure enough, we got stuff popping up. Silicone, magnesium, I think I saw there. Ice, of course. But yeah. Seems like a lot of stuff. Also, why do I see my name all the way down there at, like, the center of the world? That's very odd. Oh, also, by the way, I died earlier in my, it's felt like a construction worker accident or whatever you want to call it. That did create a body location. So now there's, like, a body location, last known location of body. So that's pretty cool that they have that now. It's actually a very nice thing. I've lost a few bodies in the past, and they're just gone. It's like, oh, well, so much for that. Let's go ahead and switch to this and get ourselves mining a little bit. Let's not mine. It can't hurt, can it? To mine towards the nickel and stuff. I don't think we'll ever need it because we have more of this closer to base. But just in case, we'll go ahead and mine here. It's a bit of flickering with our lights and stuff when we move. I guess the thrusters really. And the left click, not right click. I was just doing. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. That should be mining, and for this we most definitely should be spinning since we're not doing a right click. We don't want to shear those thrusters off. That would be very bad. Another thing we could do is just sort of aim up and down, but I don't think that would really work. Spinning is the best way to guarantee our slightly odd thruster placement should be alright. And again, hopefully those stones that we just see falling in front of us, I call them stones, chunks of material, when they vanish, hopefully they're actually being picked up by the drills. Okay, and see, we can't spin now. This is what I was worried about. So I'll just hop out and show this, my sort of faulty design here, to where, yeah, the thrusters, when we try to turn now, are just hitting the sides. That's why I was saying we need to spin. If you just in case you didn't follow, I thought I'd go ahead and visually represent that a little bit. Let's switch back to camera, fly back up, turn on the drills, and now we can spin because we flew back up, and you see the puffs of smoke, meaning we are indeed hitting stuff and collecting stuff. Cool. And I'm not sure how much we're going to gather. I guess I'll go until we're at like a mass of 100 or 100,000 or so, because that's usually when we start to find ourselves unable to fly. Mass isn't necessarily the same as weight, but hopefully it's a good enough determining factor. Oh, shit. Alright, well, we just had an impact. As you can see, I was just spinning, sort of enjoying the moment, and not thinking too clearly. I think we lost a thruster. No, all thrusters are fine. I mean, we saw all the metal that popped free. What got damaged? Everything is perfectly fine. This is very scary. Alright, well, let's, yeah, I flew back up and flew back down, so I was noticing some puffs of smoke, and I didn't think I should have been having any, but, I don't know, apparently it was all fine. Almost done. Like I said, once we get to like 100,000 or so, maybe a bit more, then we'll head back to base. Cool. So now we're going to head back to base. Unfortunately, we're getting a bit of an overload because I'm trying to go up and to the right and forward all at the same time there. Now it's just up and forward. It's giving me an overload there for a second. Interesting. Cool. But everything seems about stable, about ideal. So not too much of an issue. Fly ourselves into base. Overshot that a bit, didn't we? Shite. Overloads are terrifying to get. I really need to get a battery in this ship somewhere, just not sure where yet. And go ahead and fly ourselves in and dock us. It's interesting to see the bits of base that I've cut away right where we just flew over. Knowing full well it's like, that's what I did first, the other side's what I did second, even though the one to our right now looks more makeshift. It's funny that the section that I was grinding away at second, it actually looks, more professionally done. It looks like the one that, must have been done first ages ago, and then the second one is just the one you abandoned. Oh boy. I'm trying to dock the back of the ship, by the way. I wasn't thinking. I'll just fly down and dock it properly. Super simple locking. And before we do that, let's actually go ahead and also check just how much ice we've gathered. Let's just search the word ice, shall we? Couple thousand. There's 27. Yeah, so close to like 40. Well, over 47. Probably 50, 60, probably more than 60,000. Yeah, lock that up. And oxygen generator. Yep, you can see. Yep, it pulled in a fair amount. And so now we're also, these are probably all the oxygen tanks or hydrogen tanks that were empty. It's just pulled them in there to fill them back up right away. Cool. Cool. Everything is working out well here. Let's go ahead and actually drop. Oh. Odd. How come I can't put that in there? I mean, oxygen generator 7. You have to be nearby. You can't be anywhere else. How else would ice have just gotten in there? Very odd. Can I take something out of it? No. Oh, it's because we're in the cockpit. The cockpit's not directly connected in this ship. Right. Silly sage. Space 7. Tour 7. There we go. Tour 7. Let's go ahead and grab 2 of these, shall we? Can I not take another one? My inventory's full. Right. There we go. Cool. Awesome. So that was a successful ice run. Proof of concept. The ship worked. Don't know what those little parts we saw falling were. Very scary that. The ship is clearly not the best ship ever. I really need to build something a bit more, well, a bit larger and a bit more industrious. We'll get to that eventually. For the time being, though, I think it's good. I think what I'm honestly going to do is probably get back to grinding and just tear everything under the sun down. And empty my inventory out. That way I can have a bit more control of how I'm flying. Because every now and again stopping and drifting is a bit disconcerting. Yeah. Oh, don't want to drop that one off. Cool. Alrighty, time to get back to the grind. Not to be confused with that awesome web series that used to be out there called The Grind. It was a World of Warcraft web series. Really worth a watch if you were into World of Warcraft in the old days, I'd say. Not sure if it holds up anymore, but very, very cool in the old days.